So for today, I am very, very happy because we'll be talking about a career that is very exciting, the most exciting and rewarding career in conservation and ecotourism, which is guiding. And we have a speaker from FGASA, the famous FGASA that we all know, who will be sharing with us what FGASA is all about and what you need to get accredited by FGASA. Yeah, and we have two guides who will explain their journey to us, and we'll have Mboni as the last speaker who will share with us what he is doing in conservation. To start with, we're going to start with Bernice Kelly. Bernice Kelly works with FGASA as the Standards and Operations Manager. So let's hear from her. Bernice, please, the stage is yours.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting FGASA. Such a privilege to be able to share what we do and where we're going, and just all about guiding in general. As Stella said, it's a very exciting career and never a dull moment. It's also a very responsible career. You know, a lot of people think, oh, I'll just be a guide. But it is a very, very responsible career. You're always having to look after people, and you've also got to bear in mind your environment, the animals around you, all those kind of things. So it's not just about the exciting part, it's also the responsible part. And just touching on that, you know, a lot of people just think, oh, you know, if I'm guiding, I'm just going to be out in nature and looking at animals and enjoying the animals. Yes, you are. But guiding is very much about people. You have to be a people person. You have to enjoy working with people. You have to enjoy talking to people, showing people, you know, what nature has to offer. So that is a very important point to bear. So I've got a little presentation that I'm going to share with you. Let's get there. So yeah, so here we go. It's just my first little picture of a safari guide, just to give you an idea. Yeah, so as I said, what is a guide? So a guide is somebody who loves to work with people. So as you can see, you get a lot of different types of guides, which I'll get to just now, but you can see on the screen here is a guide who is driving a vehicle over a little river and showing everyone what there is to see. A professional guide leads guests through game reserves and national parks. A professional guide provides environmental education. So it's not just about leading them through the park. You also want to be teaching people, you know, so that they leave their experience with extra knowledge that they didn't have before. And they learn from you, you know, they learn through your experiences. A professional guide provides exceptional guest service, very important. You know, the guest needs to have that exceptional service from you, so that you must remember, so being a guide is taking people who are coming, generally some people come once, some people come more than once, but if we're looking at international guests who are going to a nature reserve or to a game reserve where there is you know, the big game that they want to see that they don't get overseas, you know, they're going to come with, it's going to be very exciting for them. And some people save their whole lives to just go on this holiday. And so you as the guide, it's very important that you are able to provide them with that experience that they're looking for. You either make or break it, you know, and you're actually the ambassador for the wildlife in South Africa, or through Southern and Eastern Africa as well. Yeah, and a professional guide also can do some tracking and a great safari guide knows all about animal behavior. Very important. You need to be able to read the animals. They don't always behave like it tells you they do in a book. And then also very important, conservation. You need to be able to speak about conserving and preserving the wildlife areas where people are coming to look at these animals and that you are guiding them in. Okay. Then they offer a safe and enriching experience for their guests. Also very important, they need to feel safe with you, and they need to leave feeling that their life is different afterwards. Also, just on a personal side, the professional guide takes pride in their appearance. They are proud of who they are as a guide. They are skilled storytellers and communicators who bring the bush to life by interpreting the sounds, the movements, and the hidden details that guests may miss. Or, you know, the storytelling is very important. People love to hear the stories of your life as a guide in the bush. Because it's exciting for them. It's very different to the lives they lead. Generally, they come from cities where they don't have experiences like you've had. And then the guide, as I said, is the ambassador. You're the ambassador for your country, whichever country you're guiding in, and for the nature reserves and for all of the animals within that area. Not only the animals, the insects, the birds, the trees, everything that surrounds you. Okay, so moving on from there, so who is FGASA and why is FGASA important in this? So FGASA, traditionally, we have been the people who provide you with a qualification. Not only us, there are other people, but generally in the industry, FGASA is the recognized body who provides you with the qualification. We are changing a little bit and we're moving forward, and we are now going into a professional body status. So we will be the professional body for the safari and field guide industry, particularly in South Africa. So now you're going to ask me, what is a professional body? Why is that important? What is that? So the professional body is the organization who oversees and supports a specific profession by setting standards. Is very important, and that's why FGASA is so well known, because we have always been well known for our standard. Our guides are of a very high standard. Providing accreditation, so you get your certification, and promoting professional development. So that's also important. FGASA has always provided a career pathway. So you start off at entry level, and then you've got a very clear pathway to move through your professional development to be able to develop your career along a pathway. So the professional body ensures that individuals in the profession, and guiding is a profession, meet certain qualifications and follow ethical guidelines and maintain high levels of competence. Oops, what did I just do there? So professional bodies also certify and accredit professionals through exams and training. So that's what we've always done and will continue doing. Every level in FGASA has an exam and training and assessments, practical assessments. We establish the industry standards and best practice. We offer continuous professional development. That's very important, because that's a very big part of being the professional body. Is that pathway that I've spoken about, where you can move from one step to the next step to the next step. So it's a continual professional development within your career. So you're always growing and bettering yourself and being able to reach a new stage within your career. We represent the interests of professionals in discussions with government and industry regulators. And we provide networking and career growth opportunities. So every profession has a professional body: accountants, doctors, lawyers, teachers, they all do. So this is why it's actually very it's very exciting and very important going forward that FGASA is now operating as the professional body. We are very excited about it. So yeah, then so now that you are going to embark on your professional pathway, you can choose which type of guide you're going to be. So there are different types of guides. There's the lodge-based safari guide. So this is where you will drive your guests in a vehicle. People come and stay at the lodge, and they're not going to go off on an evening or a morning game drive. And that's basically very simplistic, but explanation, but that's a lodge-based safari guide. Then from there, so the lodge-based safari guide, that's the basis of every guiding. You need to have that to start off with. From there, you can go and you can become a trails guide, and that's a walking guide. You are walking your guests in a dangerous game area. So where there are potentially the big five, or if not all the big five, there could be just a couple of them, you know, buffalo and elephant, for example, or rhino and elephant. So that's the trails guide. So that one takes a little bit longer to obtain, and I'll get to that just now. Bird guiding. So this is going to become in the professional body. It's a new area of development. So you'll be able to focus, if you love birds, on aviatourism and becoming a bird guide. So aviatourism is the name for bird guides. Marine guiding. So if you love the sea, and probably none of us on this platform are close to the sea at the moment, but that is the option as well. And then tracking. So if you love tracking, work as a tracker for guides. And I always think trackers are super cool because it's the most amazing thing to be able to follow tracks and find an animal. And yeah, it's incredibly cool. Right, so then how do I become one of these? Okay, so let's look at the safari, which is your driver guide first. So the system is changing a little bit and the qualification is being revamped. I'm not going to go into that now, but the way it is at the moment, there's no minimum entry requirement. We're not sure from 2026 going on. Matric might be a requirement. You need to be able to speak, read, and write English. Majority of the guests will be international, and English is sort of the language that everybody can speak a little bit or understand a little bit of. So that's important. You need your driver's license, obviously. You need to do the theory exam. So you need to get 75% to pass the theory exam. And then you need to do your practical exam, which is the practical assessment. And I see what I've actually left out here is first aid. You need a first aid certificate as well. So those are all the things that you need to do to become a safari driver guide. Once you start your course, what you will learn about, it's all of these subjects on the side here, so I'll just go through them very quickly. It's creating a guided experience. So what I spoke about, how do you make that experience for your guests exciting? So you can see here in the picture, the guide is setting up a table at a drink stop, and they're all looking to see what they can see, if there's birds there or if whatever's in the water, and they're going to enjoy the sunset with their drinks and just enjoy being in nature. And he will, while he's doing that, he'll probably tell them a couple of stories, explain what's happening in the bush, tell them about the trees, whatever they see. So yeah, so that's creating your guided experience. You're going to learn about geology because that's the basis of everything. Climate and weather, also very important to know about. Astronomy, which is your stars. People always find that very interesting. Ecology, how everything comes together, you know, how it's all drawn in so that everything is important and relates to each other. Biomes, what biome you're in, whether it's savanna, grassland, forest, all those kind of things. Taxonomy, like why is a bird, you know, got the name of a fork-tailed drongo, for example, and what is the name that it's known by internationally? So all of those kind of things. plants, trees, grasses, you learn about those, arthropods, which is your insects, fish, amphibians, your frogs, reptiles, your snakes and tortoises, etc., birds, mammals, animal behavior, which is very important, and then your conservation management, and also a little bit of historical human habitation. So you can see there's quite a lot of things that you learn that make you a very strong all-round guide. And that's the basis of all of the guiding going forward. Then once you've become that, you decide maybe you want to actually do your trails guide and you want to do walking. So to do that, you need to have the current entry level, which is your field guide at NQF 2. NQF 2 stands for National Qualification Framework, and you get different levels of that. So at the moment, the entry is at NQF 2 level. That might change from next year. Then you need to be able to, again, speak, read, and write English. You need to have the ability to think and act quickly. You're in the bush, you're going to be very responsible for your guests. So you need to be able to act quickly if you have to. Desire to guide people safely on foot where dangerous game occurs. You need to have your advanced rifle handling. You need to know how to shoot. Again, your theory exams, so all FGASA exams are 75% to pass. And then you need to, before you can do a practical assessment, because everything has the theory and the practical, as I said. So before you can do your practical assessment for the Trails Guide, you have to have experience. So we have a procedure where we've got mentors, and these people will train you in different stages. So they'll train you to walk with a rifle in front, which is called a first rifle. They'll train you to walk with as a backup, which is your second rifle. And then you'll also be trained just in general walking where you're a participant. And then you also learn how to walk with guests. So all of those things count towards you getting your Trails Guide, and you've got to log all that experience in your logbook. And only once you've done all of that are you allowed to be practically assessed. So the final thing is your practical exam, and then once you've done all of that, you will then be able to walk as a Trails Guide. Okay. Then within the Trails Guide, so you'll still learn some of the things. You'll have your basics from your NQF 2, but here you'll learn your dangerous animal knowledge. You'll learn all about animal comfort zones. So obviously they have, you're going to be on foot and you're walking. So you can't go up to an animal and pat it, for example. That is going way out of the comfort zone, and it's just not, it's very unethical to think about doing something like that. So you have to have the zones where you are, where you can tell whether the animal is comfortable with your presence there or not. You need to be able to read their body language for that. You need to be able to plan your guiding experience because you're going to be walking. So you need to be able to find your way around to and from the lodge. All your equipment you'll be carrying, your backpack with water and toilet paper, all those kind of things in your backpack. Then rifle etiquette and safety, you'll learn all about that. Conducting a guided walking experience, what you can and can't and should and shouldn't do. You'll learn what happens if an animal charges you, so you know what to do. Then you get backpack and primitive trails. So what this means is when you actually sleep out in the bush. So you'll sleep outside under the stars, and those are your primitive trails. Evacuation of guests and your orientation, learning to know where you are. If there's an incident, so say, for example, you come across something in the bush like poaching or whatever, how to manage that. And then your rifle handling and all of the stuff that goes with that, your ballistics, your cleaning and maintenance, the legal aspects, all of those things. So that's all of the stuff you will learn to be a trails guide. Okay. Then how does it work? So the steps towards becoming a guide with FGASA within the professional body. So you will need to obviously become a member of FGASA. That's your very first step. So you'll join as a member of FGASA, and then you'll obtain your qualification. So whichever one you're looking at getting. And as I've mentioned, that means you have to do your theory exam where you get 75% to pass that. And only once you've passed that, you then do your practical assessment or the practical exam. Okay. Right. Then, once you've qualified with FGASA, obviously you will then be able to work as a legal guide. So FGASA registers you with CATSETA. So CATSETA is where you get your certificate from. That's the government department that actually provides you with your certificate. So FGASA at the moment, it won't, as the professional body, we're not accredited with CATSETA because we're not a training provider. We are the professional body. But all training providers are accredited with CATSETA, and that's what gives you your certificate. And then once you've got your certificate, you then have to register. This is in South African context. You then have to register with the National Department of Tourism, and that's what makes you a legal guide. So you can't guide if you're not registered with them, because then you'll be guiding illegally, and that is not good. Okay. Right. Then just in general, it's always good to have a positive attitude and a willingness to grow and develop within yourself. There's a very good saying that says invest in yourself, and that's exactly what FGASA tries to instill in our guides. And as the professional body, if you're a member of the professional body, you will definitely want to invest in yourself so that you reach the highest level you can as a professional and within your career. Okay, so that's just very briefly what it is to be a guide and how to get there, and as part of FGASA. So thank you. And if there's anything you need to know and you want to contact us at a later stage, there is the email address on the bottom left of the screen there. Otherwise, if you're already FGASA, you can always hashtag I am FGASA on all your posts, and yeah, it's great. So there we go. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bernice. I also want to challenge myself and try to do and become a guide so that I can also write I am FGASA.
Right. You must definitely do that.
Yes, and
you can write it anyway.
Thank you. I'll do that. Yeah. So right now we're going to get questions from the audience. Is there any question? Please, if you have your question, you can raise up your virtual hand, then I will call upon you to ask your question. Any comment?
Wait, there is a question here. With the theory exams, do you have a supplementary? Sorry, hang on, I need to find your question again. Okay, there we go. Do you have a supplementary exam for those who do not get 75% pass? No, so what we do is if you get between 71 and 74, then we moderate. We can see if we can find any extra marks that maybe, maybe the marker missed a half, we can see you understand the point. You haven't quite got it, but we understand, so we can give you half, those kind of things. If not, you can write the exam. So you can write the exam. There's 4 times you get to write the entry-level exam. So you've got 4 chances. Okay.
Thank you so much. And I can see there is a hand from Ashley. Ashley works with Global Conservation Corps. So Ashley, would you please unmute and ask your question?
Thank you so much, Sela. I just wanted to say thank you for Bernice for taking the time. This presentation was really, really informative. And I'm so happy to see we have quite a few of our future Ranger program students on the line. So I'm confident we've got a lot of future field guides receiving all this information for the very first time. So it makes me very excited to be part of this session. So thanks a lot.
Oh, that's awesome. Thanks, Ashley. Oh, sorry, Sela.
You can go.
I was just excited because I see there's quite a few FGASA people on there as well. So that's also very cool. So yeah, and then the people who aren't, you're welcome to contact us if you want to become a member and start your journey. It's, yeah, very exciting. Sorry, Stella, I'll stop interrupting you now.
It's okay, it's your session. All right, so thank you, Ashley, for the question. And we have another question in the chat. Soretu is asking, is there a membership fee for FGASA?
Yes, there is a membership fee. So you join as you pay your registration and membership fee, and then thereafter you pay an annual fee. So to keep up your membership. So it's the same as any professional body. To keep your membership and your it's called a designation once you've got your qualifications at specific levels. To keep those up and to keep practicing and adding to that, you do need to pay your annual membership fee.
All right, so I would just, thank you so much for that. I will just read one more question, then the rest of the questions, they will be sent to you so that you can answer them. We'll send the answers to the people in the chats. There is a question from Frida Tembo. How does FGASA adapt its training to reflect the evolving challenges in wildlife conservation, such as climate change and human-wildlife conflict?
That's a good question. So going forward, so we haven't really touched a lot on this in the past, but we are, as I said, under the professional body, we're going to actually be introducing a lot of new modules and courses and webinars and all that kind of thing for people who are interested in the different subjects. And those things will definitely be part of the professional body curricula going forward. So that's something to look out for. And that's also something that is great because we will be focusing on that, on those things, sustainability, all those kind of things. Going forward a lot more than what we did. So that's one thing the professional body does allow us to do as well. So it's very exciting.
Thank you so much, Bernice, for the answer. And thank you so much, Frida, for the good question. All right, so there are two more questions. If you still have some time, Bernice, you can type, you can answer in the chat, or Maret can send them to you over on email. Yeah, and right now I just want to thank you so much for your time to give this talk. We really appreciate, we know you're such a busy lady, but you made time with all the passion and good energy to share your knowledge. We really appreciate that.
Oh no, it's a pleasure. It's great. And as I said, thank you so much for thinking of us and inviting us. It's very special.